You are listening to the Will Power Podcast. Welcome to the show. I am Will Holdren, and I talk with some of the most influential CEOs, entrepreneurial leaders, and thought leaders to reveal the secrets that have led to their success. I believe that with the right knowledge and mindset, you can do anything you say your mind to. So if you want to learn how to change your life for the better, if you want to learn how millionaires actually became wealthy, or if you want to develop and start your own business from the ground up with the right knowledge to help you, then you are in the right place because this is the Willpower Podcast.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Will Holdren. I am the host of the Will Power Podcast. Today we have an incredible individual. His name is Brandon Crosby, and Brandon is actually a professional baseball player. He used to play for the Savannah Bananas, and now he's currently on a team called the Chili Peppers, which is just an incredible league to be a part of. And on top of that, he really goes out of his way to help focusing on helping underrepresented baseball players really reach their full potential. So it's an absolute honor to have him on here today. He's also faith-based and he's based out of the Virginia area. So it's just a blessing to have him on here. So Brandon, first and foremost, thank you for joining me.
Bro, thanks for having me, my man.
Yeah, my pleasure. I heard a lot about you and everything you're doing and kind of your stories so far with what you've done in baseball and how you kind of transitioned. And it's incredible. So I really want to tap into that story. So starting out, I want to ask you a question that I ask all of my guests, which is one, what makes you want to take time out of your day to hop on podcasts like these to go out there and just share your story?
Oh man, I think life is a lot about networking and you know, like yourself, man, you're highly motivated, you got your own stuff going on, and I feel like it's good to just sit down and have conversations with like-minded people. You know what I mean? That's the iron sharpens iron, right? So that's the only way we get better is actually sitting down and having these conversations. The only difference is like we're getting recorded while doing it. So, I think it's a immense amount of value that can be learned. Not only that I'm giving or that I'm what I'm talking about, but your story and who you are. So, that's my biggest thing, man, is being able to like come on here and just talk about life, man, talk about what we do. So, I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's inspiring the younger generation. Like you said, we're just talking, but it's recorded at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
getting the story out there. Hopefully
Yeah.
someone can pick up some things from listening to this.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, so you got a pretty interesting story. Obviously, you were big in the baseball world. You got a faith-based background. So kind of walk me through your childhood. What was that like? How'd you get involved in baseball and kind of how'd you transition into the pros?
Yeah, so I started off when I was 4 years old. I started playing baseball. My dad played professional baseball, so that's where a lot of the motivation, or I guess you know, I guess I would always say I guess I would always say that it was always in me. What I mean? Just all my uncles played ball, my dad played ball. And it was always just something that growing up I knew I was going to do. So throughout the years, through elementary school, middle school, even going into high school, I wasn't always the best athlete. I kind of had that underdog story to where I always had to work twice as hard. I wasn't invited to go play on the big travel teams. I didn't make the middle school team. All of these different things. But like for me, it was I always wanted to play baseball. Even when the game wasn't necessarily the best to me, I always like wanted to go back. And I found myself just like working even harder when I was told no, or when I was told I wouldn't be able to do certain things. I just went even harder. So it's just like I think in all of that I found the love for the game, and I found the love in the process of everything. So that's really kind of my story in it all.
I love that. So growing up, I mean, you mentioned your dad played pro baseball. So did you ever feel like a kind of little pressure on it where, I gotta fill his shoes and kind of step down that road too, or no?
I guess it was a little pressure there. My dad, it wasn't like he played for the Royals a couple years. He was a free agent signee, so it wasn't like he was like a crazy like big leaguer, but like, he loved baseball, and I think he put a lot of so-called pressure on me to just be the best that I could be, but it wasn't necessarily something where it was just like, oh, I gotta be better than him or anything like that. I think more than anything, it was just like, yo, we're gonna do this, like we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Especially when I got to like middle school age, it was just like, yo, if you decide to do this, like you better like work your butt off, because you know what I mean. It's we're not gonna half step anything, you know what I mean. So that's kind of that. I feel like that's where the pressure came from more than like anything from my dad.
Yeah, it's just fully committed to something. I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like they want to jump into something, whether it's sports or business, and like you said, they don't fully commit. They're doing like 50%, never really reach that peak, and that's what you
Exactly.
see that success at the end of the day. But it takes a different kind of person to be able to max out and hit that 100%, like you said, and do the extra workouts. And even when you don't make a JV team or something, you come back stronger just the next year with that motivation.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So walk me through post high school. What was the next move for you? After
So post high school, man, my route was a little unconventional. So out of high school, I had an opportunity to go to the University of Louisville, and I was supposed to go there as a fill-in for one of the utility guys, but he ended up signing to Louisville. So that was my spot there. So like I was so excited to like go to Louisville. Like I had one on visits, had my class schedule set up. It was God's will, of course, right? I wasn't ready for that smoke, but out of high school, I was supposed to go to Louisville, and I was supposed to be filling in for this guy who was about to go in the first round. And I think he ended up going the second round. He ended up signing to Louisville, so that was my spot. So last minute, I had to like find a JUCO to go to. I ended up going to Spartanburg Methodist College in South Carolina, where I completely shit the bed. It was just flames, fire, just everything just went downhill, man. I had really bad grades. You know, I was kind of getting into some trouble out the field. I was just like, I just wasn't in the right headspace. It was my first time away from home, so
yeah,
I just went to JUCO. I had a big old head. The only thing that was working for me at the time was baseball. That was the only thing that I was like actually doing decent in. But like even in that, it's like, if you don't got the grades, you don't got the, the right look or whatever, it's just like, you kind of going like so I ended up redshirting. They ended up redshirting me that year. So it was just, a very hard adversity right there. And I ended up coming back home because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I had to go back home and get my grades up. So I came back home, went to a local community college, worked at FedEx. My dad worked at FedEx at the time, so I worked over there, and I just continued to train. And once I got my grades up, I ended up going to Prince George Community College. They were one of the only JUCOs that wanted me at the time because, in the baseball world, unfortunately, once you kind of get a bad reputation, it's kind of hard to get into schools, or at least the schools that you want to go to, right? So
yeah,
at this point, I'm trying to go visit schools and stuff like that, and nobody really wants me because they heard about my past and what I did at this school. So they're like, yo, why would we want this guy? So literally, I went to this D3 junior college, literally like bottom of the barrel, like junior college. But it was like it was such a miracle that happened within that year, man. I went to this school. I ended up getting, because we think I say bottom of the barrel, like I mean it's a great program now, and like what I'm saying, they didn't build up the facilities, like it's really nice, but I say it's D3 JUCO. That's like, what I'm saying, the kind of like the lowest level in baseball college wise. So, it was just, but I was just so excited to have an opportunity to play somewhere and somebody wanted me. So when I went to this place, this was kind of like my last chance, right? Like this is my last chance to kind of figure it out and get it together, So I went there and I think I was like I raised my GPA up to like I think I got a 3.9, a 4.0 that semester.
yeah.
Like that first year, I was like became an All American. Like the team, we went to the World Series. Like
Wow.
I started having scouts like call me up, and like people starting to hit me up and stuff like that. And it was just like a magical year, man. It's exactly what I needed at that time. I literally the year before it was like rock bottom to like back on the mountaintop. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That was kind of the switch for me. And I ended up going back there my second year, and I had some opportunities to get drafted and stuff like that. Ended up getting hurt. Didn't have the same year that I had previously. So I ended up going to a local school, a Division I school called Norfolk State University, that I went to, is the HBCU, and I was there for a couple years. Spent some time there. My first year didn't really go too well. Second year was a little better, kind of getting back into it, like finding my swing, finding myself as a player, at that level, right? And
Yeah.
then COVID hits. COVID hits 2020. So,
Yeah.
another block. So after COVID hit, I end up going out to Tampa to go train to become a better, to just get better. I go to train with this guy named Reggie Williams. Pretty much had like a baseball academy ran out of his house, and I stayed with him for about a year and a half, and I just trained with him because at this point, I'm trying to become a professional. That's my goal is, I mean, so all through all of this, bro, my whole goal was to like go pro. My whole goal was to like get paid to play baseball. That was my whole thing. Rather it was affiliate ball or if it was indie ball, whatever it was, that was my dream. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
of course, at the time it was affiliate ball. Go big or go home, right? But
Yeah.
I was with this guy training, man, and I going to this guy's house, it changed me as a ball player. Like I really learned what it was. So Reggie Williams, he was a 10-year big leaguer. He played with the Angels, the Anaheim Angels, and I think he played with another team. I can't think of it right now, but he had sons. One of his sons was starting third baseman for Texas when they went to the World Series.
Okay.
His other son played at Florida State. Now he's at University of Tampa. He had some other sons that played ball too, that played pro ball as well. So this house was like it was like a baseball academy, man. We ate, breathed, and slept baseball. You know what I mean? We literally woke up, went to the gym, went out to the field, got ground balls, hit, came back, rested, went back out. Like it was like one of those types of situations. And like I really learned what it was to be a pro without knowing that's what it was to be a pro. So
Yeah.
um yeah, man, after that happened, um, I spent a year and a half there. Then things started to clear up more as far as like getting past COVID, and they started having pro tryouts. So I went out and I went with this guy named Joe Torre. He had like a travel professional baseball team. And I pretty much went to these spring trainings with him and to go try out for these teams. And I went to this one team, and I was doing really well in spring training. And I ended up breaking my ankle before cuts. So, another setback. So it's just like, I mean, you see the story now. It's just like I go through these different things. I'm working, setbacks, getting hurt. Just things, sometimes things in my control. Like it started off things like in my control, and then now it's like now I'm starting to like just get better. Like I'm becoming this guy or becoming this type of ball player, and then it's just stuff that's out of my control. So, so I get hurt, and I was doing really well at this spring training at this so-called tryout, and I probably would have made the team, but I ended up hurting my ankle really bad, and it was just terrible, man. So I was out for about another 6 8 months. Pro season that went by, and I don't have any college stats because I didn't go back for my 2020 year. So it's like at this point, I'm talking to some of my mentors, like my coach Reggie, and like some of these people. They're just like, "Yo, like you need to go back to college and get your numbers. Like, there's no need to like sit down right now. Like, you might as well go to school, play, get your numbers up, and like try to, get seen that way."
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Warner University, which is the NAIA, and in Florida. It's in Lake World, Florida. It's between Orlando and Tampa. Like, it's like Central Florida, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Little small Christian college, and I went there, man, and I didn't have like the craziest year, but I had a decent year. I had a good year. Our team was good. We broke a lot of records. And after that, I went back with Joe Torre after that season, and I ended up getting signed to my first pro contract. So
Awesome.
It's yeah, I feel like that was a mouthful. I feel like I just said a lot, but you know what I'm saying, that's kind of like how what led me to, playing pro ball and stuff like that, man. It was
Yeah.
just like even just saying all of that, it just was a lot, man. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of my story.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sharing that. It really shows kind of the ups and downs that it takes to reach a goal. You know what I mean? And the bigger the goal, the harder the journey is going to be. And so obviously your journey kind of just proved that right there with, you're doing so well, you break an ankle, you're doing so well, COVID happens, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
how you just come back from that. Uh,
Yeah.
First thing I kind of want to jump into from what you mentioned is when you first went to college, you went to JUCO in South Carolina, and you said you had bad grades. You're kind of getting involved with some stuff off the field, and that kind of really just set you back that first year. And then you transferred out of that. You came back up north to your hometown, and then you got really good grades again. And you had a really good year in school. So, for all the college athletes that are watching this or kids that are about to go to college, I mean, what are some of the things you would tell them to kind of get them on the right track for when they get into college sports and make sure that they don't get distracted by all the things that can happen on the side?
Oh man, I would say, my grandma say all the time, and I didn't listen to her then, but now I do, because the old people are very wise, right? We need to listen to our elders, but
Right.
a big thing was just like keep your eyes on the prize. You know what I mean? Like, and that means like everything. Like keep your eyes on the prize as far as what's the prize? Like, what do you want? You know what I mean? If you want to be that pro guy, if you want to go to this big school, or if you want to get this degree, like you got to keep your eyes on the prize. And especially as an athlete, it's like, um, beyond our sport, the sport that we play or the things that we do, is like all of it comes together. You know what I mean? Unless you just like this, the crazy football player is like, that's like, the high SEC, ACC guys that don't got to go to class, or, you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
Travis Hunter or something. But even then, bro, it's like you can't really, put everything in because you never know what could happen. So I would just say, man, is like, to be the overall package, man. You got to have good grades. Like that's got to be first and foremost. Like you got to keep your grades up to stay on the field, to be credible. I know in a lot of situations, like people that I played with or people that I know, they would go lower in rounds because like they didn't have good grades. Like they were just like, because scouts would look at it like, yo, if you can't get good grades in high school or in college, like what makes you think that you're smart enough to play baseball? Those types of things. So it's like, at one way or another, it's going to affect you. I just say be the best at everything that you do because it matters down the road. Because I was one of those guys where I was just like, man, I don't need to go to school. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. But now it's like, throughout the time, man, kind of like bit me in the butt because it's just, I didn't see it that way. I'm like, yo, well, if I just play baseball, like I'm good. No, like it's like my grades, like the way that I showed up, like the habits that I created, you know what I mean, along the way. So like all of those things matter. And I say that's the biggest thing, man, is be the overall package because, it's just like going to work when when you're an adult. Like they're gonna expect you to be prompt and and make sure you go get the job done. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah. I think that's so good. Like you mentioned, you really just gotta be well rounded. And like Jalen Hurts always says, you gotta keep the main thing the main thing.
The main thing, bro. The
It's
main
just
thing, the main thing. Yup, that's my frat brother.
yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's my frat brother. Yup.
That's pretty cool.
Yup.
I love it.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've seen quite a few people just that I know anyway that had all the talents in the world, but they get focused on the wrong thing, whether it be like alcohol or women or drugs or something like that, and they just get derailed, and you can
Oh
just
yeah.
not come back from that, and it becomes hard. So
Yeah, well, that's what happened to me my first year in JUCO. You know what I mean? I kind of got a taste of the world, and I try to indulge myself in that, man. And it showed really quick. God showed me very quick that that wasn't for me. And if you keep on doing this, it's gonna get worse and worse. So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Keeping your eyes on the prize. I knew I was like, yo, like I don't want to go that direction. Like I want to make something out of myself. Like I got these goals, I got these dreams. Like I can't do that. But for me, that was baseball. You know what I mean? If I realized real quick if I was doing that type of stuff, that was going like I wasn't gonna be able to be on the field or like, do what I love. So it's like, yo, I kind of had to get, sacrifice that and like, literally give it to God, bro. Because, like that's my way of seeing it is like giving to him because it's literally like if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So, it's gonna take a sacrifice, bro. People just don't wake up and they're just great. You know what I mean? It's a lot of sacrifices, a lot of time, it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? These people ain't just
Doesn't happen overnight. Yeah.
yeah, bro, just great. Like people just think people just wake up to be great. Yeah, like some people are great, but they gotta work. They gotta work towards it as well. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
And like you said, like college too, especially that first year, it's your first real taste of freedom. Like you would say, like not really under your parents' house and kind of out there doing your own thing and people
Yeah.
watching you. So it can get dangerous quick. But like you said, you really got to win the inside thoughts, and you got to win those little moments, those little decisions, and end up winning days, and you end up winning weeks, and you end up winning months, and that's how you just compound it, over some time. So
Facts.
that's the key.
Facts, brother. Facts. Yup.
So
Yup.
another thing I want to ask you is obviously you've had a lot of ups and downs like during COVID. I mean, your whole thing got derailed and you broke your ankle during the tryouts and that got derailed. I mean, all these ups and downs. I mean, how did you keep your faith so strong with God during these times?
Oh my God, man. I mean, literally all glory to him, bro. Like a lot of times I didn't even and I think that's the sometimes that's like when you're in that vulnerable state, bro, and you don't know how you're gonna get through something, that's when he shows up the most. That's what I've kind of seen is like,
Yeah.
the more I've kind of been down in the dirt or like I don't know what's next or I can't really figure it out. Like when I literally have to like lean into him, I feel like that's when he shows up the most. You know what I mean? When I'm deep in that water and I'm sucked down and I barely can breathe, you know what I mean? It's like that's when he sticks his hand in and brings me right up every single time, bro. Like it doesn't fail. So I think it's just that, bro. It's just like having my faith in him and knowing that, like, yo, like God, bro, like he has a plan for me. He has a plan for me to prosper. He has a plan for me to do great things. You know what I mean? He didn't put these desires and this dream and these things in my heart for no reason. So it's like, even when it got super bad, it's like, yo, I know God got me at the end of the day. I know because that's what his word says. That's what, all these Bible verses and these stories are about great people that went through a bunch of adversity, that were the underdogs, and that he brought them through. So it's just like, this is me living out my testimony, and I'm still living it out today, bro. It's not perfect. It's not, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't get through that, I'm still writing another chapter right now. So it's like, it's this thing. But now what has happened is I done been through enough things throughout this journey to where I know that God got my back. I can look back and say, damn, like he got me through that. He got me through this. Like I know he's gonna get me through this. So it's just that unwavering faith being trained.
Yeah, that confidence, and that's one of my favorite sayings. It's faith, not fear, and
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what you're doing, like sports or building a business, I mean, it's so easy to look 10 steps down the road and just be like, man, like I don't know how I'm gonna get there or how this
Yeah.
thing actually play out. But in reality, it's like if you trust God, you got faith in God, understanding He's got that game plan, right?
Yeah.
Just gotta take that next step and follow,
Yeah.
and He'll make it happen, whatever's supposed to happen. So
Facts.
just gotta do that.
Facts, bro.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So walk me through after you got that pro contract. What was that feeling like that first time you actually signed that?
Oh man, it was crazy, man. And it happened so quick because like I said, I was playing with Joe Torre. Shout out Joe Torre. But I went out there and played with him. He got this professional, like it's like kind of like a professional travel team, but it's like it's his own league where you go out here and you got pro aspirations and you pretty much go and this guy helps you get like seen and signed by other teams and stuff like that. So when I
Yeah.
went, I went right after my season and I was kind of been playing this whole time and I went to his camp out in Pennsylvania for about a couple weeks, and I was playing and I was doing my thing, and randomly he got the call. He was like, because how what happened was like these coaches from these pro teams would call him and be like, hey. I need a shortstop, such and such and such. Like, you got a guy, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I do have a guy, or I don't." So, I just happened to be like one of those guys that they were ready like that was that he sent out and like I said, it happened so quick, bro, because like this is right after school. Like I didn't go home or anything. Like right after my season ended, I got my bags, got packed up, came home, dropped off my stuff, went straight to Pennsylvania, started playing. Then 2 weeks later, I get a call and this team is in Colorado. So yeah, so we're in Colorado. So I'm in Pennsylvania, and and like, Joe says, hey, like, I think Northern Colorado wants you. Like, you should be getting the call here soon. The coach called me like not even like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, and he was just like, hey, can you be here tomorrow? I'm just like, here tomorrow? Like, that's like, I mean, Colorado? He was like, yeah, we about to release a guy right now, and we need you here as soon as possible, whatever. I'm just like, okay, like, let me figure it out. Like, get a plane ticket or whatever. It was like, yeah, like, we'll reimburse you or whatever. So
Yeah.
man, that was like the quickest turnaround. Like, I had to get all my bags, get all my stuff, drive to Virginia, and the next day I was on a flight like that afternoon. And like literally, like while I'm getting the Uber from the airport to the stadium, I'm like signing my contract, doing. So that's the thing about like at least indie ball, bro. Like, it's not no you sit down and you sign a contract, bro. It's like a revolving door. So guys are coming in and out. Like, everything is kind of just like that. Like, it's like a docu-sign. Like, okay, sign your life away, and then like you playing this evening. You know what I mean? So it was like that was the situation, bro. Like, that quick, and I was going. I was like, yo, like. So I was supposed to start that day. So once I had landed in Colorado, they drove me to the field, and they had a game that day. And the plan was, and this is what the coach told me. He was like, yeah, we're releasing this shortstop. So I'm coming there filling this dude's spot. He's a shortstop. He's like on the phone. He's like, yo, we're cutting this shortstop. You're coming in to like play. We need you to play tonight, if you're ready and stuff like that. And bro, it's the
Sure.
time difference. It's like elevation. There's all types of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, like, you're playing tonight, so like be ready. And so we're driving. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I got to be ready. And and it was so funny. Like, once we got there, so what happened was it was a rain out. So the game ended up being raining out.
Oh,
So and then so I mean, even going into it, like it was just crazy because it's my first time experiencing like what it is to play pro ball, whatever. And I come in and I'm meeting this guy. I'm meeting the shortstop, the guy that I'm coming in to replace. And we're talking like there. It's like normal. It's like normal, whatever. It's like everybody's going out here, going to train, going to get their ground balls to hit. This dude has no idea that he's getting released. Like, he has no idea that he's getting released that day. It's just like
true.
he's totally oblivious. Like, I'm just like meeting him. Like, in pro ball, you kind of like understand like, oh, if a shortstop's coming in, like they're probably taking my spot or whatever. But like this dude didn't really know because I guess he just didn't think it. But
Hmm.
we're just going through the day, like doing our normal routine, whatever. And the rain starts coming in, and they cancel the game. And then after they cancel the game, it's usually after the game when the coach will come in, like he said, hey, like, come to my office, and then they'll talk to you about whatever. And he ended up releasing them. And he came in there and he was like all upset about it, and like I was right there. Like, this is my first my first introduction to what pro ball is, and like literally I'm replacing the guy that's getting cut. So it was just like, so in my mind I'm like, yo, like, I need the ball, or like I'm up out of here, because like, what I'm saying, like literally, like, these dudes don't care, like it's that cutthroat. So
Yeah.
luckily we were going on a road trip. So that game had got rained out, and I think it was like a couple days to like kind of work out. And we had like a long drive to Ogden, Utah. And I kind of was able to get my mind together and like, really step into what I was doing. And man, I went down there to Utah for my first week. That first week, the first series, I hit damn near like 600, 700. Like, I was damn near almost got like player of the week. Like, I was going crazy, bro. Like, and it's literally by the grace of God, because I was just like, yo, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, God, I give you this. Like, we out here, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like, I give it to you. I'm just gonna go hard. I'm gonna work hard. And bro,
Yeah.
like, he showed up. It's like I literally hit like 600, like 650, something crazy. Like,
That's
after
great.
that week, like, Diamondbacks, like, people started like reaching out like to the manager. Like, it was a whole thing, bro. It was just like magical, honestly. So that kind of just carry it out throughout the year. and I played, did my thing. Um, so I was in, it was a lot that came with that, but ended up finishing out that year. And the next year, I signed with Ogden, the team, the Ogden Raptors in Utah. That's actually where I had my first series, and
Okay.
I went and played with them, and I ended up getting like the first week of the season. I ended up getting traded, and then I went back to my old team in Northern Colorado. It was a new coach there, but I ended up going to my old team and playing there for 2 weeks. And then the guy there, he ended up releasing me and cutting me from the team. So then I got picked up from another team in Colorado called the Rocky Mountain Vibes, and I went there and finished out the season with them. So
Dang.
that was kind of like my indie ball stint of like just kind of that of that experience.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, one of the things that I've learned from pro ball, especially like working way up through the minors, it's dog eat dog out there. Like it is a brutal system just to work your way up through and get to the next level. But it's still just an amazing accomplishment just to reach that level. For how many
Yeah,
people that want to get there.
yeah, nah, bro, it's really cool. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah,
It is. It really shows you a lot about yourself and how far you're willing to go to attain this dream. I mean, everybody's there to get to the next level and play their ways through it. But in the midst of it, like I said, it's a revolving door. It's guys coming
yeah,
in and out. If somebody don't do the job, then they gonna find somebody else to do it. So it's I mean, it depends on the org that you're with and everything too, the manager that you're playing for. But
yeah,
it's yeah, it's definitely cutthroat. So I've never played affiliate ball, so I don't know. I know it's kind of similar, but I it's like a bunch of different things with contracts and stuff like that. So, but ball is ball, man. So
for sure. How'd you end up on the Savannah Bananas? Because that obviously is a big time team, and they got a huge social media presence, and I think some of those guys even go pro too. From the Savannah Bananas. So
yeah, bro. So yeah, after my season ended with the Vibes, that was so after that season ended, I heard from their recruiting coordinator, and he was pretty much just like recruiting just like any other pro team or anything else. Like I think they were really targeting the independent ball guys, guys that came out of independent ball, guys coming out of college and stuff like that. So he didn't like he reached out to a number of like different pro guys, like people that I knew and stuff like that, and literally just reached out and said, hey, like, would you be interested to come to a tryout and come check it out and see how it is and stuff like that. And I at first I was kind of just like, man, this the Savannah Bananas, you know what I mean? Like, especially coming from pro ball, that's kind of just like, bro, are you serious? Like, them dudes just dance and stuff like that. But like, I got on the phone and he told me what they were
yeah,
paying the guys, like what, what I'm saying, like what was added on, like what, kind of just everything about it. And then I started to learn more that it was baseball involved and that we were actually competing and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh wow, like you know, um, and then on top of it, like I said, like indie ball, man, you wasn't getting paid jack nothing, you know what I mean? And
right,
what I mean, these guys are playing in front of sold out crowds, their followers are like going crazy, like all this types of stuff, you know what I mean? I'm just like, damn, like this might be, something that I might be interested in. And also I had an entertainment background where like I grew up in the choir and dancing and like all my family are entertainers. So like I was
yeah,
like, yo, maybe I can really do this. Let me at least go to the tryout and see if I enjoy it, see if I like it. And go from there. Because at that point, bro, I wasn't even planning on going back to indie ball. Like I was at this point, I in my head, I was like, yo, I'm thinking about like going to play overseas and like, it's just the indie ball stuff just was it was just I just wasn't seeing that end goal anymore. It's just it's so hard to kick down that affiliated door and like I was getting older, all of that types of stuff. I'm like, yo, like I still want to play though. Like I still want to be around the game, maybe travel. And then I got this opportunity, so I went to the tryout just like any other tryout. It's this tryout is baseball, but it's like It's a banana ball tryout. So like, when you had this tryout, you're doing like when they hit you ground ball, you're doing trick plays. You know what I mean? When you're going up to hit, you're like doing these like walk up like, what I'm saying, these like, dance walk up
That was
routines
part of
and
your
like
tryout. That was part of your.
that's a part of the tryout. And like also like before you like dancing and stuff, like they're trying to see like what you can do. So it's pretty much just like baseball, but they want to see like what talents you got
Right.
outside of that and how you can be entertaining and stuff like that. So um
So
I went
did you like prep with your dances before you tried out? Like, did you know that? 'Cause you
not
up in
not
the
not
tryout.
really. Not really. I didn't really prep too much, man. It's kind of like it's kind of in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went to the tryout as Michael Jackson. I literally just went into like a Michael Jackson costume and like went all out. And like for the whole day, I was Michael Jackson at the tryout. So that was like, and literally, bro, I was just trying to like have fun with it, bro, and see if I actually liked it. And that day, bro, I had like some of the most fun I had on a baseball field in a while. And I was just like, damn, like this is like actually really cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're actually still competing. It's just like more entertainment based. So I was just like, man. And then, a couple weeks later, I ended up getting the call that I made the team and I ended up going out there and it was cool. So
That's wild. That's so.
yeah.
So during you guys like practice, like after you made the team, were you guys going over like dance routines and stuff, like while practicing? Was that part of the practice you guys had?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we would rehearse like before, and not really doing practice. More practice was more like just baseball stuff. But like before the games, we would have like our skits per se, or our celebrations, or the things that we would do, and then we would like incorporate them during the game.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, that sounds like a great experience. And like you said, it's a very famous league. So like a lot of people know about it, obviously. And like I said,
Yeah,
they get sold out crowds, so it's legit baseball too at the same time. And
yeah. No, man, it's really cool, bro. It was a blessing to be a part of it.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before we run out of time, I just got a couple more questions for you. Going forward for you, I mean, at this point in your career and your life, and what are some of the main goals that you want to still, accomplish and going after like this year and next couple of years?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this cosmic baseball thing. I think it's gonna be a whole nother like whirlwind of like sports entertainment and baseball. It's literally like glow in the dark baseball. So, I'm really looking forward to being part of that. I'm playing, but I'm also like helping like players are coming in and helping build up the brand. So, like like being a game changer, like making this game like inspiring more people, like motivating more people, being on this we're going on a 7 city tour, so it's like I'm able to like go back out there, play the game that I love, like have fun and like put smiles on people's faces. Like that's the biggest thing for me. In the game in itself, bro, like I love the game, bro. I love being on the field. So like me still becoming trying to become that ultimate like baseball player, like at like who I am, like that's the goal, bro. Is to like, really have as much fun as I possibly can on the baseball field. Like that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. And make a difference while doing it. So
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing, bro, is like
So
is being able to do that.
yeah, glow in dark baseball sounds a lot of fun. Are you guys coming to
Yeah.
Atlanta? Is that one of the cities?
You said where?
You guys coming to Atlanta? Is that one of the cities?
Atlanta? No, we aren't. That's where you located?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Oh damn. Oh yeah, no, we're not going there, bro. We're not going
Well,
there.
tell them to
Yeah.
add another city to the tour. Tell them to come to Atlanta.
Come to Atlanta. Yeah, yeah. Maybe down the road, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're going to Durham, Nashville, Indianapolis, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting stuck here. But I can send you the schedule and everything,
Yeah.
and because I know Mike lives in Pennsylvania, so I don't know if you go ever go out there, but
Yeah. I'm actually
um.
from Pennsylvania,
Oh,
so
you are? Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah, we're going to Rochester. How you say it?
Yeah, Rochester. Yeah.
Rochester, yeah, yeah, we're going out there. So
Nice.
yeah, man. So I'm really looking forward to that, man, and continue to be on a baseball field and wear a jersey, bro.
Yeah. That sounds like all great goals, man. All great goals.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. And before we hop off, is there anything else you'd like to say? And if people want to reach out to you, how can they go about and find you?
Man, last thing I would say is keep God in your life. And as always, through God, for God, baby. You can find me on my Instagram at Brandon Crosby 12. You can find me on TikTok at Showtime Crosby. What's my Twitter? I don't remember. But those are two of my biggest platforms. So you guys can go follow me on there. And I can't wait to meet y'all.
All right, guys, there you have it. Go follow him on Instagram. And if you guys still have TikTok on your phone, go follow him on TikTok. So, all right, guys, there you have it. Brandon Crosby, thank you so much for joining me.
All right, brother.